Welcome to the Rodcast, brought to you by the RQ Group, where we deliver HR nuggets to help small to medium-sized businesses navigate the ever-changing workplace. Today's episode is all about recruiting the right talent and selecting the right talent. So this is not just about employers or human resources department, but this episode will also focus on the employee and give you some nuggets today. So let's dive right in. But first, I want to say thank you to all of you for your grace and mercy during the first few episodes of the Rodcast. This is a whole new venture for me, and after my content creator did the best editing possible, I was mortified that all of the video from the last episode was me reading my script and looking down. Oh boy, my eyes. So thank you for giving this old dog some time to learn some new tricks so that the Rodcast can be the best source of encouragement and information to help you along in your journey. You know, the RQ Group is definitely a resource for all things human resources related for small to medium-sized businesses that either do not have any HR support, or maybe they have someone who's doing the accounting or the bookkeeping, and then the owner decided that he or she needed someone to handle some HR issues. So you may just be floating along and feel lost at sea some days. So my goal is to provide both the employer and the employee with helpful tips and nuggets to navigate the high seas of your workplace. Recently, I released my first book with the same title, and I think one of the landmines that I faced is that the cover of this book almost makes it look like it's a children's book. But I researched and I discussed the top 20 issues that most businesses face on a regular basis. But then I wrote the book from the standpoint of being out on the water, fishing for talent, selecting the right bait, getting on the boat with crewmen that maybe you don't even get along with. All that to say, this book is about communication, how to get along with others, how to succeed in your business, how to boost morale in your business. So I tell you all of that to say this. Maybe you're not the HR manager. Maybe you're not even the owner of the company. Maybe you're the employee who got thrown into the world of HR and you feel like you're drowning. I really hope you give this book a chance to provide helpful insights. Buy it. Give it to the owner of your business as a Christmas gift. In all seriousness, it was written with you in mind so that you would have a resource to navigate through tough times. So I do hope that you get it today. Now, as I said in the beginning, today we're going to talk about recruitment and selection of the right employees for your business. You know, did you know that according to a recent study, 62% of executives believe that the majority of hiring managers are inconsistent in conducting interviews? In the United States, the average interview process takes approximately 23 to 24 days, depending upon the industry. And the average time has increased from 44 days up from 31 days in 2023. That's indicating that there's a trend towards longer hiring processes. However, your top candidates are typically only available for about 10 days before securing another offer with another company, which really tells you that you have to have a proven interview process that's both efficient, but very fluent and quick. Otherwise, you may be losing your top candidates. And let's face it, replacing your top candidates can be expensive. According to the Society of Human Resources Management, replacing a candidate who earns $60,000 a year can typically cost the company between 6 and 9 months of the candidate's salary, translating that into an additional $30,000 to $45,000 a year. A recent Gallup poll showed that the cost of replacing an individual employee can range from half to 2 times that employee's salary. So regardless of which statistic you read and or believe, the point is that recruitment and selection are crucial in your business. So I want to talk to you today about baiting your hook with job postings, simplifying the application process, to reeling in top talent during your interview, and finally, how do you make the offer that seals the deal? So whether you're new to recruitment or you're a seasoned pro, you know, whether you're the employer or the employee, there's something here for every one of you today. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm truly not the fisherman. But recruitment is like fishing, and here's what I do know about fishing. You have to require a strategy. Some days you have it all figured out. The job post, the interview, the right candidates. It's all smooth sailing. But then there are days where you just can't seem to attract the right person no matter what you do. And again, with fishing, you can't throw out the old dull hook and expect a big catch, right? The same goes for your job postings and your recruitment strategies. What does your job posting look like? What does it sound like? Would you want to work for you? So imagine that you're trying to hire a staff accountant. Your description reads like this: we are seeking a detailed-oriented staff accountant to join our team. Responsibilities include preparing financial statements, reconciling accounts, and assisting with audits. The ideal candidate will have a strong knowledge of accounting principles and proficiency in accounting software. And then you list the requirements. 1, a bachelor's degree in accounting. 2, 2+ years of accounting experience. 3, proficiency in QuickBooks and Microsoft Excel. And 4, strong attention to detail and organizational skills. Boring! All right, what if you changed the title of the position to Numbers Ninja? And this is what it reads. Are you a wizard with spreadsheets? A master of balancing the books? We're not just looking for any accountant, we're looking for the accountant. And if you believe every number tells a story and you thrive on solving financial puzzles, let's talk. At your company, we're more than just a workplace. We're a team of experts. And as our numbers ninja, you're going to dive into a world where precision meets creativity, managing financial data, crafting budgets that could rival the Avengers funding plan, and keeping our fiscal ship sailing smoothly. Here's what you'll be up to do. Deciphering the mysteries of financial statements like a financial Sherlock Holmes, reconciling accounts with the finesse of a tightrope walker, auditing processes to uncover opportunities for growth and improvement, collaborating with a team that loves coffee, good jokes, and a great workplace. But this is what you're going to need to bring to the table. A bachelor's in accounting, finance, or a related superhero training program, 2+ years of experiences keeping the numbers in line, mastery of QuickBooks and Excel, your digital sword and shield, and a knack for details, organization, and turning chaos into clarity. Now, that may be a bit overboard, but which job do you want? Do you want the staff accountant or the numbers ninja? You got to stand out from the crowd. Be in a business that is fun, exciting, treats employees as experts, and rewards them appropriately. Stop being so worried just about numbers. Ask yourself, is my job posting enticing the fish in the pond that I want? Or what do I need to do to make it more enticing? Because I promise you, you'll find bigger fish in the sea with a more enticing job posting. So now that your job posting is ready, it's time to cast out your line, and this is where your application process comes into play. Have you ever tried to untangle a fishing line? Gosh, it's frustrating. You know what? That's how candidates feel when they're trying to navigate a complicated application process. I've seen some companies with multi-step application forms that ask for everything short of a DNA sample. Candidates are going to get frustrated very quickly if your application process is too complicated, and they're simply going to abandon ship quickly. So I'm telling you this, employ the KISS principle. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Or as some people say, keep it simple, stupid. Here's what I would suggest. Why don't you go out personally and test the process? You go through the steps like you're a candidate. If it feels clunky or takes too long, it's time to streamline. Would you want to work for you? Now, candidates, let me speak to you for just a few moments. Review your resumes. My God. I cannot tell you how frustrated I get as a chief human resources officer when reviewing resumes. Years ago, I worked for a home mortgage company, and my kids were in high school, and I was in the process of hiring for about 20 new employees. and I probably received over 100 to 150 resumes. And as I was reviewing them one night at home, both of my kids came into my room, and I was taking the papers, and I would look at one and I would set it down, and I'd look at the other one, I would set it down, and they would look at one and I would put it over here. And finally my kids said to me, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm looking at their resumes." And they go, "But you're not even reading anything." And I said, "No, you've got to understand. There has to be consistency. And if their resumes aren't showing consistency, they're not going to be good for this job, because in this home mortgage job, you have to know every detail. And if you can't do a detail on your resume, how are you going to be able to work for me?" So here's what I would tell you to do. Look for spelling, look for punctuation, look for consistency. I mean, if you're looking to be the numbers ninja and you've said that you're detailed, does every sentence end with or without a period? Be consistent. If you write the dates you were at a job, don't write January 2020 through DEC 2024. Be consistent. If you write the name of the month out in one area, write it out in all areas. If you use numbers for dates, use numbers for dates in all areas. It doesn't really matter what you use. Just be consistent. Also, did you proofread your resume? How many words are misspelled? Why not ask a trusted friend or a trusted HR professional to review it and give you pointers? And one quick note is that in your job experience, when you're talking about your current role or the role that you're in, that you're leaving or you've just left, use present tense words like responsible for approving spreadsheets and monthly reports. And if your job experience is something in the past, use past tense words like approved spreadsheets. If you're currently doing it, make it present tense. If you used to do it, make it past tense. This is simple, I know, but you would be so surprised at how many resumes get trashed simply because of verbiage. And also make sure that your resume is formatted where it's going to translate into any applicant tracking system or any ATS. My suggestion would be for you to submit your resume in PDF formats so that the formatting in Word or Google Docs doesn't change when you're submitting it into different ATSs. And also, you probably already know this, but you got to figure out ways to bypass algorithms in most company job postings these days. Years ago, I discovered that algorithms are looking for keywords in their job posting. So if the title of the job is Numbers Ninja, make sure your resume shows that you are a numbers ninja somewhere so that it can bypass all those algorithms. And also, algorithms can't read lines, symbols, emojis, you get it. If your line on your resume wraps around and you have columns, you have 2 columns in your resume, the algorithm is going to read the resume as one page. So if you have keywords in the first column and then your job history in the second column, the algorithm reads from left to right, line by line, and it doesn't differentiate between columns. So if you want more information on things like that, contact me. Let me review your resume. That's what I'm here about. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to the interview process. This is where you got to reel them in. There is an art to interviewing. You've got to bite, somebody's interested in your role, and you're moving forward to the interview state. This is where it gets exciting, but it's also a little bit tricky. Interviews should never feel like an interrogation. You're not a detective, you're a host. Make the candidate feel warm, make it conversational. Ask about their passions. What excites them about the role? What are they looking to achieve? Don't make the mistake of having the interview all one-sided. It's not about grilling the candidate with questions. Flip the script. Make it a dialogue, not an interrogation. For those of you looking to interview for the job, the interview actually starts when you walk into the office. Years ago, as I said, I worked for a banking institution. And one of the job responsibilities was having to deal with frustrating people and waiting for a long period of time for people to get back to you. So if I scheduled an interview at 1 p.m., the interview started at 1 p.m. However, I would make them wait in the lobby for about 10 minutes. But the receptionist also knew that the interview started at 1 o'clock. So when the candidate came in and they sat there for 10 minutes, I got to find out how would they handle things when things were going to be a little bit out of their control. And you would be surprised how many candidates lost the job opportunity because of the first 10 minutes. I remember coming out to my receptionist after an interview that was so good. This lady was just perfect for the job. And I went out to the receptionist afterwards and I said, all right, how did the first 10 minutes go? And she said, I don't know how she did in there, but out here, she was mad. She was angry. She was cussing you. She was saying, man, this guy is wasting my time. I've been here since 1 o'clock. She lost the job. Now, for candidates, here we go. And it may hurt your feelings and it may sound a little old-fashioned, but buckle up. I've got some things to tell you. George Bernard Shaw said, he was attributed to saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So dress up. Make sure your clothes aren't wrinkled, stained, torn. I mean, be fashionable if you want, but coming to an interview in ripped jeans and a ripped shirt does not say, I want this job. It says to HR professionals, this person's going to do whatever they want, when they want, and how they want, and they're probably not going to be a good culture fit or a fit with our team. You can be fashionable and professional at the same time. I once interviewed a man for a facilities position. He'd been working in the barn on his farm all day long, and he showed up with dirt and hay all over his clothing, and I'm not even kidding. When I asked about where he had come from, he said, I've been baling hay all day long and I didn't have time to shower or change clothes. Plus, this is just a facilities position where I'll be sweeping floors and fixing things. I bet you can guess how that interview went. Sit up straight, engage, make eye contact. If you're a sweater, bring a handkerchief or something to blot your head and make light of the issue and tell the interviewer you get nervous and you sweat, but make sure you're not a sweaty mess. I mean, you are on an interview. Why do I tell you this? Because I've experienced candidates like this all the time. Lay off the Axe body spray and the Yves Saint Laurent perfume and the perfumes that linger in my office after you leave. Okay, maybe that was a little too blunt, but I don't want to smell you after you've left the interview. I'm just telling you this. Okay, I'm done with this for now. Back to the interview process. Are your interviews engaging employers? Are they one-sided? Have you made the candidate feel like a number or someone that wants to be a part of your team? All right, so now you've reeled them in and now it's time to seal the deal, making the offer. When you have found the right fit, don't wait too long. Delays can cause candidates to move on to other opportunities. Remember, 10 days before your top candidate on average moves to the next job. So be quick, be clear, make an offer that shows that you value them. Remember, this is not just about the salary. Candidates are looking for a full package, work-life balance, benefits, growth opportunities. The perfect offer goes beyond the paycheck, and it's about creating excitement and making them feel valued. Now, owners, CEOs, hiring managers, get over yourself. If you're only looking for the candidate who should be thankful they work for you, you should expect massive turnover consistently in your organization. The problem isn't your employees. The problem is you and your ego. There, I said it. I cannot tell you how many CEOs and owners I have come across in my career that make candidates feel like they should bow down and kiss their feet because someone was generous enough to give them a place to work. Blah. Listen, when you value your employees, you're going to succeed in business. Your turnover is going to diminish and the morale in your workplace is going to skyrocket. Trust me. One day I'll tell you the story of working for this major banking institution, which had the lowest customer satisfaction scores and the worst morale ever, and what happened in 18 months that turned that fulfillment center completely around. Value those around you, including your candidates, and I promise you, you'll see a massive difference in your team. So we've talked about recruitment. We've talked about job postings. We've talked about resumes. We've talked about interviews, and we've talked about making offers. Now, ask yourself, what's my process? Is it too detailed? Is it too cumbersome? Do I make the candidate feel warm and valued? Remember, in the world of recruitment, creativity and a good sense of humor can go a long way. So happy fishing. You can get a copy of my book, Navigating the High Seas of Your Workplace, by going to the store on our website at www.therqgroup.com, or you can get it on Amazon. The Rodcast is simply provided to keep you informed of the things that you may not know about, and quite honestly, you may not even care about. But it's my job to handle the human resources business so that you can grow your business. Thank you for joining me today on the Rodcast, where we break down HR issues into actionable steps for small businesses. And when you take a closer look at your processes, you'll realize that you may have a lot of work to do, but the outcome will be amazing, and you'll catch bigger fish and you'll keep them longer. Do you have a question or a topic that you would like us to cover? Reach out to the RQ group at our website, and let's navigate the high seas of HR together. Until next time, this is Rod Query reminding you to always plan wisely, but more importantly, choose wisely.